So we're here talking about success. You guys have created a new model for success, both for the seller of a house and for the people selling the house. That's why I had you on the show, because you're doing something radically different. I want people to know that this is available to them. You know, one of the things I like about goal setting too is that if you set, and I always teach this, if you set a goal that's larger than you think is possible, like a 7-figure income, you know, at your second year in real estate or whatever, the thing that's required of you is to master different parts of yourself. You've got to master your emotions, master enrollment, master sales, master empathy, learning how to listen, how to present, etc. And the cool thing is that even if you were to lose all the goodies, your car gets stolen, your house burns down, you know, the industry changes, you can't do it the same way, who you've become in the process can never be taken away.
Yes.
That mastery of self, that is really the payoff. You know, I have friends that have had all kinds of experiences where they achieved what they wanted, and then for some reason it disappeared. You know, the economy shifted, whatever, but who they became in the process didn't change.
Absolutely.
And that's the real value and benefit of setting goals, especially high goals. Because if you don't set them, you never have to confront the considerations, the fears, and the roadblocks that start showing up in your consciousness that were always there. And I like to look at it like that old whack-a-mole game.
Yes.
You know, that you put the dollar in and these mole heads come up, you got a hammer and you got to hit them. And if you hit enough of them, you get a doll that you can take home to your kid that falls apart 2 weeks later, you know. But the point is, you're surfacing all these limiting beliefs and fears that were always there, but they were subconscious because you never pushed yourself into where they would surface. But the good news is now you can handle it. Now you can deal with it, release them, move on, and now you're freer, you're more powerful.
You know what's so interesting too, just in terms of that whole notion, is when you set a big goal, you're putting that out there into the universe and the right people start to show up.
Yes.
You accidentally happen upon somebody. You accidentally happen upon an opportunity. But the reality of it is that the universe is simply responding to what you put out there, and it starts to show up. And what's so great about that for our business is that I couldn't list and service every single home that came up for sale in my area, but I could service enough that I have a wonderful year. And the opportunity is there, but it's not going to show up if I don't put out a big plan and a big notion to actually make it happen.
Right.
So simply that first step of making a plan, it puts so many other wheels in motion right behind it.
Yeah. Well, what's supported in that is the belief that it's possible. We don't make a plan for something we don't think is possible. We don't plan a vacation if we don't think that we can actually do it. And so when you create that plan, you're activating the law of attraction.
Yes.
You know, and you said like you accidentally run into people.
It's no
You know,
accident.
my wife she coined a term a couple years ago. People talk about, well, that was synchronistic. She said, no, it's synchromystical. You know, it's like because you're applying these laws of the universe that you talk about, that Napoleon Hill talked about, the Master Key course talks about.
Yes.
And it's true. It works that way. And if you start doing that, you are opening your own perception to things that were always there that you might not have seen before. And I always tell people, if you buy a car, if you ever had this experience, you buy a car,
Sure.
and the next day you see that car everywhere, you didn't notice them before because it was just background. But once you bought a certain car, then you notice, there's a lot of these on the road, because it opened up that perception in your reticular system in your brain.
Correct.
Same thing happens when you set a goal and you start planning it. You're acting as if you're telling the universe, I believe this. And the universe responds to belief.
It's been incredibly powerful for us. We didn't think it was inside of us until we went after it. And then we realized it was already there. It's just been an incredible journey for us. And we're so excited to be able to share this opportunity with so many other people.